Hello everyone, it's Ashley with Amare, owner and founder of Amare Healing Arts, Plastic Surgery Recovery Center, and Holistic Clinic, specializing in manual lymphatic drainage. We have 2 locations in New Jersey, Highland Park and Elizabeth, and I also offer virtual consults. If you're not in New Jersey but still need help with your recovery, you can give the office a call at 732-841-0142 to set up your sessions. We have our post-op shop where we offer post-op supplies like lipofoams and BBL pillows, and I teach you guys how to use those products with the videos that we have on our product page. That's amarepostopshop.com. We also have our online courses where I teach you guys what massages you would need after plastic surgery, when to get your massages, who to get them from, what the lymphatic system is, what lymphatic massages actually are, and all the research that you would need on your post-op massages and finding a lymphatic therapist. All of these links are in our bio as well as in the description boxes, so you guys can go and check that out. I will see you guys soon. Ashley with Amare. Bye. Hello everybody, Ashley with Amare. So first of all, can we just point out our beautiful sign? My neighbor actually has a graphic design company and she was able to vinyl print our logo for us for my videos. So I will link her stuff in the bios. She's fantastic. She worked with me like so quickly and so easily to get it done. Super affordable. Perfect with like customer service and the pricing. She's amazing. I actually didn't know she did graphic design until I was talking to her about work one day and she was like, "Oh, I could do that for you." And I was like, "Yeah." So she's in New Jersey, but she also does like, all around the country stuff. She can ship it to you, work with you. She's fantastic. But anyway, ta-da! We now have a nice little logo as the background for our videos. So today we are talking about lymphatic drainage. What the heck is lymphatic drainage? Well, what the heck is lymph? Like, what the heck is your lymph system, right? Okay, so let's start from the basic things, right? Lymph nodes, we know we have lymph nodes. Those are the things that swell when we're sick. Why do they do that? So your lymph nodes swell when you're sick because this is like a HEPA filter. These lymph nodes are a HEPA filter. You've got clusters of them. They're the size of a kidney bean and they're in a cluster. So let's say you have a little like virusy thing, right? Goes in through your nose. It's in your body. It's in your tissues. It's invading you. Oh no, we're under attack. So your lymphatic system, all the fluid that's in your tissues gets taken out by your lymphatic system. It is a one-way system. So it is, they say, like parallel to your vascular system. It is another circulatory system. So when we hear circulatory system, we think about our blood, right? Our circulation. Your lymphatics is a circulatory system, but it only goes one direction. So unlike the blood, which constantly like sends blood in and back out and like all around, your lymphatic system goes one way, just out. So it starts in your tissues with these tiny little like vessels that collect the fluid. It takes the fluid to your lymph nodes. Your lymph nodes are like giant HEPA filters. They have T cells, B cells, all the infection fighting stuff. They go in here, the fluid gets circulated. It neutralizes all of like the bad stuff. There's like a little war that happens in there and all the bad stuff gets killed from the fluid. And then it goes to the next lymph node and the same thing happens and over and over and over. So that fluid, all the fluid that's in your tissues, all the tissue water in your body circulates, gets cleaned, and then gets dumped back into your blood at your subclavian veins. So this is how the body works normally, right? This is how swelling works. This is how immunity works. This is what all of this is. This is your lymph system. So that's lymph. Lymph is a colorless fluid, sometimes a milky white. If it's infected, if you have like backed up stagnant lymph or lymphedema, sometimes you'll have wounds where it's like a yellow, which is not healthy. It can be acidic, which is also not healthy. You usually won't see that, like I said, unless you have stagnation or like a wound or something where that like gross fluid comes out. But it's usually a colorless or milky white fluid that processes through your body, goes into your lymph nodes, gets cleansed, dumps back into your blood, travels through your heart, your liver, your kidneys, then your kidneys turn it into urine. So we don't really ever see it. It was thought, the lymph system was thought to be an invisible system, right, for the longest time because it's so tiny. So it's tinier than a hair. So like a hair, you guys can't even see it. That's how big your lymph system is. It is this big. Lymph nodes are a kidney bean. You also have lymphoid organs. So your thyroid, your thymus, your spleen, your bone marrow. I actually have, we took a break from the series to split it up, but there's primary and secondary lymphoid organs. So the primary ones are on my Instagram. And then we're going to start the secondary series soon for the secondary lymphoid organs, like what they are. They are all over your body. And again, this is like an invisible system, right? So when we're talking about lymphatic drainage or lymph drainage, right? What does that mean? What is lymph drainage? Well, what I just explained, your body purifying this fluid and then it coming out through your urine, that is lymphatic drainage. It's not about cutting you open and having fluid pour out of you, or like actually like taking a needle and draining you. That's not it. Your body is doing lymphatic drainage 24/7 all day, all the time without you even knowing it. That's how it works. So lymphatic drainage is the process of your body draining and purifying the lymph, which is the fluid that holds all of the macromolecules. So proteins, bacteria, viruses, dead cells, cellular waste, macrophages, all of those things. So here's how it works. Your circulatory system picks up micromolecules. So like little tiny baby molecules in your system. Your arteries and veins and your whole circulatory system, that will go through your tissues and transport all of those. Your macromolecules, which again, bacteria, viruses, foreign bodies, dead cell waste, all of those things, kind of like byproducts, is what your lymph system gets rid of. So your lymph system, again, unlike your circulatory system, yes, it does circulate fluid out of your body, but it doesn't circulate it back in. Once you pee it out, it's gone. So that's how that works. It just cleans up your tissues. It's basically your body's wastewater treatment center. You know how you flush the toilet and then all the water goes to like a wastewater treatment plant? Or I don't know if you guys have ever seen how a wastewater treatment plant works, but it circulates and cleans all the water, takes out all the debris and all of that stuff. The water doesn't just magically, that treated water, show back up in your toilet. It gets, dispersed through the world and whatever. And then eventually you get new water in your toilet. Your body's the same way. So the water that's in your tissues, all the fluid that's in your tissues, it is getting all of the macromolecules in that water is getting taken up by your lymphatic system and then filtered through your body, and then you pee it out. That's how it works. That's how we get rid of waste, right? So that's also what's responsible for your immunity, because your lymph nodes have those T cells and B cells to fight infection, and your lymphatic system is picking up those little bad guys from the infection, carrying it to your lymph nodes. Your lymph nodes are doing the little gang war thingy that they do, beat up all the bad guys, kill them, neutralize them, and then take them out of your body. So very oversimplified. I will do a longer video on the education of the lymphatic system and all the parts to it and how it works. Take all of that with a grain of salt. That is not the whole story. That is not the whole purpose of the lymphatic system. That is not all of how it works. That's just me giving you guys a jumping off point for this video of like, what is lymphatic drainage? So that's basically what it does. It's a invisible, tiny, hair thick and smaller system that is only a hair deep beneath your skin that processes all the water in your tissues, takes out the bad guys, takes out the waste, helps with your immunity, all that great stuff. So your body is doing this lymphatic drainage 24/7. This isn't something that's done outside of your body. The reason we're talking about this is you guys hear manual lymphatic drainage or lymphatic drainage massage and have no idea what the heck that is. You're like, oh, so they're going to drain my body of something? Yes, but it's not externally. The drainage is happening internally. It's like a sump pump, okay? You've got a bucket of water, your body, and there's a sump pump in there, and all day, all the time, it's like doing its own thing, pumping out the water, keeping those levels regulated, right? Because that's also what the lymphatic system does, keeping those levels regulated and pumping out all that excess, right? To get it out of there. So when we're talking about manual lymphatic drainage or lymphatic drainage massage that manually pumps and drains the lymphatic system, all we're doing is getting that sump pump, like we're manually, like if the sump pump had a handle on it, we're manually cranking the sump pump. That's all we're doing. We're not taking a shop vac to the inside of that bucket and pulling fluid out. We're just getting the sump pump to work better, stronger, and faster because your body's already doing this lymphatic drainage thing. It's already draining your body of excess swelling, of excess, debris, viruses, all the things that I mentioned. Your body's already doing that. So why would we stick a needle in you or cut you open to squeeze fluid out of you if that's not how the body's designed to work. And you guys love to rag on me for this. I say it all the time. That's not how that works. Like, that's one of my catchphrases, is that's not how that works. And you guys make fun of me for it all the time. But literally in the body, that's not how it's designed to work. So if we are cutting you open with a needle or squeezing blood out of you and trying to extract things from your body, it's not going to drain your lymph. That's not how that works. So let's put this into a real world perspective. A blister, and I'm going to post this next week on my Instagram, the actual definition of what's in a blister. A blister is lymph, serous fluid, which is the fluid that's in your tissues, lymph, serous fluid, blood, sometimes pus, and other accumulation. So when you get a blister on your hand, right, a water blister, that's lymphatic fluid that you're seeing. So lymphatic fluid, and I explain this in my course. If you guys want to know more about the science of the lymphatic system and the anatomy and how it works on its own to understand more about manual lymphatic drainage, our course is post-op lymphatic massage and finding a therapist. That course is link in our bio. It'll be in the description box of the video. It's in the bio to the Spotify. It's everywhere. So that fluid is lymph fluid. So as that fluid was in your tissues before you had the blister, it was interstitial fluid. It was tissue fluid. Now that there's a blister, it gets a different name. So now it's like a water blister, right? Where did that water come from? That water came from inside your tissues. When that water is inside your tissues, it's interstitial fluid. Once the lymph system opens up and that water falls into the lymphatic system, doing your body's natural lymphatic drainage, then it becomes lymph fluid. So all of that fluid that's in that blister was going to be lymph fluid and is lymph fluid. It's the same composition. So what you're seeing in a water blister, or when you pop a pimple and that clear fluid comes out, that's lymph fluid. So picture it like that so you guys have an actual visual. But again, trying to stick a needle in you or cut you open and squeeze fluid out when you think there's swelling, that's not going to work, because swelling has to be processed out of the body. The lymphatic drainage thing itself still needs to happen. Your body's normal process of lymphatic drainage. I'm not talking about what you guys think is lymphatic drainage, which is squeeze massage. I'm talking about the actual internal process of your body lymphatically sucking the fluid out from your tissues so you can pee it out. So even if you are going to get the squeeze massage, incisional drainage, things like that, that's not going to address the proteins, the macromolecules, any little dead tissue cells that are left behind. That's not going to get any of that out, because the only thing that gets that out is your lymphatic system by doing the natural, internal, already happening lymphatic drainage. So lymphatic drainage is something that your body's, I know I keep saying it, but it's something your body keeps doing all the time. It's not something you have to cause to happen, which is why it's called manual lymphatic drainage, because what we're doing is this manual skin stretching motion. That's all we're doing, is just getting the skin to move. If we're moving anything deeper than that, it's not manual lymphatic drainage. Because again, picture a hair against your skin and me trying to move the hair across my skin. If I'm pushing into it and doing this, the hair's not going to move. It's going to stick to my face. So I want to be able to move the hairs across my face. That's the amount of pressure. It's that gentle. But again, it's because this system is so tiny. And in the course, I actually show you guys like real pictures of people imaging of how thin and like spider webby and wispy the lymphatic system is. So when we're talking about manually draining it, what we want to do is, like a handle on that sump pump, manually pump the system to get it to absorb the excess swelling or the excess water so that you can pee it out, because that's how it works. We can't do it any other way. So what's in that water blister is lymph. Going back to this. What's in that water blister is lymph. The number one thing they tell you not to do with a water blister is pop it. Why? Because you will risk an infection. Also, all of that fluid is there right now to try and heal that underlying tissue that just got burned. The topical tissue on top of that that's bubbled out, That's going to be dead tissue. That's not going to be the new stuff. The new stuff is underneath all that water. So that water is there to help start making new tissue underneath that blister. So popping it can lead to an infection because it's basically like a giant containment center for the wound, which is your blister, your water blister, a giant containment bubble. And all the materials that are used to make the new skin underneath is all in that fluid. So if we take that fluid out, and yes, it's going to release the pressure, but we can also risk an infection because that was your protection. That was your containment center. And now that space is open and you rip the skin off that blister and it's just raw skin and everything's going to get in there and it's going to be exposed to everything. So that lymphatic fluid is meant for your body to drain itself and get rid of it. If you work out, like I rock climb, right? If you work out and you have calluses on your hands, right? That callus was a blister at some point. And then you leave it and it hardens over and creates like a bubble of tissue. And then after a while, if I stop climbing or working out, my calluses go away because that skin, that nice thick padding of skin, isn't being used anymore like that. So the skin naturally, I actually have one on my hand, the skin naturally starts peeling off. That used to be a blister. And once the lymph fluid is done making the new tissue, that skin there starts to peel off and go away, and the new fresh skin underneath is there. That's how it works. So again, talking about post-op, talking about lymph drainage, we're not pulling any fluids out of your body. Your body naturally does this lymph drainage thing on its own to help heal your tissue. What we do need to do is manual lymphatic drainage, where we are gently dilating those little hairs, gently moving the skin to get your lymph system from behind to kick on and do its natural job of sucking that fluid back to release the pressure from on that wound itself or on your entire lipo area to get that swelling down so your body's going to heal flat and not like a callus. I know this is all over the place, but I hope you guys are following me. So let's take the example of Lipo 360. We go get Lipo 360. All that means, guys, 360 just means all the way around your torso. 360 degrees, it's not some fancy type of lipo, just means 360 degrees around your body. So we get that lipo, right? We suck out all that fat. 360 degrees, you are now a wound underneath your skin. Picture your body as one big blister, right? Because all that tissue, we didn't get like a superficial wound, we got a wound underneath the skin. That's what a blister is. It's a wound underneath the skin. It's broken tissue underneath the skin. So picture your body, for this analogy, as one big blister. So we've got all that damaged tissue underneath here. We've got the skin on top, right? We don't want it to heal hard. We don't want it to heal like a callus, right? We want that swelling to come down. But what's the number one thing they tell you not to do when you have a callus or a water blister? A water blister, not a callus. Don't pop it. And you guys are getting poked with needles, raked through with wooden tools and things, and squeezing blood out of you. We're not draining your body. We don't drain a water blister. That's not what we want to do. What we want to do is stimulate your lymphatic system to suck back the excess swelling so you can pee it out so that it heals nicely under here and doesn't keep that fluid and those proteins in there and build up thick like a callus. We want it to heal flat. And that's the other thing is when you have calluses, they say, try when they're swollen before to rub it with like some oil or something to get the skin to move, right, around there. Even after like you already have a callus, one of the things they tell you to do is rub it so that they soften up. Because again, your body is sucking fluid back all day, every day, 24/7, all the time, naturally on its own, doing lymphatic drainage, sucking out the excess fluid from your body, and you're peeing it out. So we are going to manually assist the body in sucking that fluid back from your Lipo 360 or your big water blister, if you want to think about it like that, sucking that fluid back from your Lipo 360 so that you can pee it out. So all of that heals without pressure. So all those excess proteins, dead cells, cellular waste, all of that stuff comes down away from the treated area, from the lipo area, so it doesn't build up and become a callus. That is manual lymphatic drainage. We are manually pumping the lymphatic system to get it to do its natural job of draining. We are not manually with a needle or cutting you open and squeezing fluid out of you, because that's not how your body's designed to work. And even still, if you are doing that, you're not getting out all of the swelling. Your body is, first of all, under attack now, and you're breaking more tissue. So that's a swelling event. You're going to have more swelling. And second of all, again, proteins, dead cells, all those things are still in you, because the only thing that cleans them out is your lymphatic system by absorbing those macromolecules, processing them, and getting you to pee them out. So you may be taking care of the liquid part, the water part, but you're not taking care of the healing part. And that's the point of manual lymphatic drainage, is to take care of the whole thing, the healing part of it, as well as relieving the pressure, making sure it heals flat, all those different things. So trying to keep this video short. You guys, lymphatic drainage has nothing to do with fluid leaving your body. Your body is doing lymphatic drainage 24/7 on its own. Your body is always lymphatically draining itself. Manual lymphatic drainage, lymphatic massage, is meant to pump your skin gently to get that pumping of the sump pump to manually cause the lymph system to drain, because we're pumping and dilating those little vessels. Those vessels aren't like a blood vessel where it's just one open tube. It looks like this. It's like a little group of cells that are open, and then they fill up when they reach max capacity, and then all the fluid gets absorbed into the system. And as the pressure comes down, they're open again, and more fluid can fall into this space and fill up. And then again, as it fills, these things close, it reaches max capacity, fluid falls into the system, and over and over and over. It's a pressure system. That's why I say a sump pump, because a sump pump kicks on when the water level gets to a certain height, and it gets pressure, and then it starts to pump everything out. So lymphatic drainage happens all the time. Manual lymphatic drainage is us manually pumping the skin to get those vessels to dilate so that they absorb more fluid at a faster rate back into your body, and you pee it out. It has nothing to do with fluids leaving your body. And manual lymphatic drainage, you don't need manual lymphatic drainage to get your lymph system to drain and work. There are other ways to stimulate your lymph system if you're healthy and looking to stimulate your lymph system. But if you're post-surgery and you have a swelling event, which is surgery, and your body's one giant water blister, yes, that is a lot of fluid for your body to handle, and it will take a very long time to go down. Probably longer than your healing time, which is where the problem comes in with you healing with fibrosis, healing with swelling still stuck inside of you, all of that stuff. So the point of manual lymphatic drainage for surgery is to make sure we are relieving that pressure so that you heal faster, making sure we're getting rid of those excess proteins, dead cellular waste, all of those things, extra water, so that when you heal, you don't heal with all that inside you as a buildup, and then it turns into like a callus or fibrosis or hard or looking weird, so that you heal smooth. So that's the appearance side of it, but also the health side of it, making sure that your tissue is actually healing healthy and has circulation and is being cleaned as it's healing. So manual lymphatic drainage after surgery isn't just for, oh, I need to relieve the pain. It's to actually make sure you heal properly from the inside out, not cutting you open, squeezing blood out of you, using rollers and crazy things digging into you just for the appearance of. Because I know a lot of people who have the appearance of being flat, but the minute you touch their stomach, they are as hard as a rock. Or they're really, really tight and they can't move and they can't breathe and they can't eat and they're still in a garment and all these things. So manual lymphatic drainage for after surgery is not just for the appearance of making you look flat. Yes, it does that. It gets rid of all the fibrotic buildup and all of that stuff, but it's also for the pain relief from the pressure, right? When you have a blister around a pressure, it pulls on all the skin and it's uncomfortable. The pressure for the healing, for cleaning up the cellular waste in your body after surgery, making sure you stay healthy, all of those things. But lymphatic drainage has nothing to do with fluid leaving your body. And that's the exact opposite of what we want to be doing. We want to be doing gentle, Vater-style manual lymphatic drainage. Now, if you guys need help finding that, if you need to know more about, okay, she keeps talking about this manual lymphatic drainage thing, but like, how do I know if I'm getting the right thing? Like, what is that even supposed to look like? What is that supposed to be? How do I even start with understanding what that is? The course, post-op finding a therapist course, and post-op lymphatic massage course, it's 9 hours of content. Or I think it's 8 hours of content, 6 modules. The first module is like what we're going to learn. The second module is like a way deeper dive on all of this science. So if you guys are super interested in the lymphatic system, I've got diagrams, I use tons of analogies, I break everything down. That's like an hour-long video on the lymphatic system and how it functions, and you know what it does in the body regularly, every day, all the time. A lot more technical than the little brief explanation I just gave you guys. So that's the second module. The third module is what is swelling? How is it created? How does it work? What's going on in the body with swelling post-op? Like, why isn't the swelling going down? What do we need to be careful of with the swelling? And then the fourth module is all the things about manual lymphatic drainage. So everything about it as far as what you need to know, what it is, all the science, all the facts. And then the fifth one is finding your therapist. So credentials to look for, how to find somebody like me who's knowledgeable on the anatomy and things like that and can explain it to you, somebody who's properly certified and credentialed and licensed to be, 1, putting their hands on you, and 2, doing the actual technique. All of that is in there. And then 6 is the bonus module with all of like your at-home care stuff. So like, do I use rollers? Do I need a board? What about this? What about that? All of the TikTok-y, Instagram-y, interweb things that you guys see where you're like, oh, I'm just going to buy all these things on Amazon because somebody said it on the interwebs. Yeah, I break down the science and the facts of like, yeah, you need this. No, you definitely don't need that. Yeah, this works. Nah, this really doesn't work. Scientifically, for your swelling, is it actually doing something? All those like rollers and stuff. So that's pretty much it. It's amarehealingarts.teachable.com. The link is in all the places if you guys want to check out the course. Like I said, this was just like, I'm trying to keep this video short and condensed. If you need supplies, your post-op supplies, foams for your garment. Also, foams are used for getting rid of fibrosis. Post-op cream, also used for circulation and getting rid of fibrosis for your skin. Soap for after surgery, if your skin is flaking like crazy and peeling and itchy and a mess. Maybe your soap. And if you're having wound healing problems, that may also be the same thing as the soap. All that kinds of stuff. Medical grade detergent for washing your garment and foams after surgery, BBL pillows, and every product page has a video on the product, why you need it, what it's good for, all of those wonderful things. That is Amare Post-Op Shop. If you have questions for me, do not DM or email or text. Please call the office. Alex will be happy to figure out what you need as far as a session, either virtual or in person in New Jersey, 732-841-0142. And that's it, guys. So again, one last time, lymphatic drainage is happening 24/7. It's happening right now. Every time you go pee, it happens. Lymphatic drainage does not involve fluids leaking out of your skin. Lymphatic drainage is something that your body does on its own, but we can manually stimulate it when we have a swelling event, such as a blister or surgery or, you know, a certain amount of swelling that we can't seem to get rid of, or all of those things. So that's it, guys. Ashley with Amare, our new beautiful sign. I will see you guys soon. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.